Greetings, this is Psychic Underlord. We will be exploring the nature of religions and cultures in this video. Let us explore an incredibly influential, yet often overlooked aspect of American history, the Black African American Church and its social and legal influence in the political reforms within the United States and around the world. In the late 19th century, a powerful movement emerged within American Protestantism known as the social gospel. This movement, flourishing from about 1870 to 1920, sought to apply Christian ethics to the pressing social issues of the day. Issues like economic inequality, poverty, and racial tensions, all exacerbated by the rapid industrial revolution, gross human rights abuse, economic suppression, and legally mandated racial bias had maintained a stranglehold upon American society. Church leaders like Washington Gladden and Walter Rauschenbusch were at the forefront of social gospel, preaching that the kingdom of God should manifest here on earth by advocating for justice and charity. They argued that people effortlessly maintained inhumane standards and could not become Christians unless they began to see the error in their ways. They believed that to truly emulate Christ, one must also strive for societal reform, especially in terms of the abusive treatment of Black African Americans. In the 1897 novel entitled In His Steps, Charles Sheldon captured the essence of the social gospel movement with the question, what would Jesus do? This became a rallying cry for many, guiding them towards actions that reflected Christian morals and social responsibility after the end of chattel slavery in 1860. 3 decades later, there was racial animus against the formerly enslaved people. Sheldon, along with others like Rauschenbusch, argued that true religion should actively challenge and transform the corrupt systems of the time, promoting democracy and equality. Including blacks in the discussion, even in post-slavery years, was completely unheard of. As America moved into the 20th century, the reach and impact of the social gospel only grew stronger. Even with 380,000 black soldiers fighting for freedom in World War I, they were completely segregated by race before and after the war. Over 200,000 served in direct combat in Europe. During the tumultuous times post-World War I, figures like A.J. Musti, who was dubbed the American Gandhi, adopted nonviolent methods to address issues like economic injustice and racism. These methods later inspired leaders of the civil rights movement, including Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. King in his own writings, acknowledged the profound influence of the social gospel on his thoughts and actions. This connection underscores a lineage of faith-driven activism that has continuously evolved, adapting to address the needs of each new generation. Now let's talk about the Black church itself, a cornerstone in this narrative of social gospel, founded in a time where African Americans were marginalized and oppressed. These churches became more than just places of worship. They were sanctuaries of freedom and platforms for vital political activism. From the earliest congregations in the late 18th century to the powerful civil rights movements led by figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Black church has been instrumental in fighting for justice and equality. The Black church, imbued with the social gospel, has significantly shaped America's social landscape. It has fostered community, spearheaded social reforms, and provided spiritual sustenance to countless souls. As we look to the future, the enduring message of the social gospel, social salvation and transformation through faith, continues to inspire new generations to strive for a just and equitable society. What would Jesus do? This question remains as relevant today as it was over a century ago. This narrative not only recounts the powerful history of social gospel, but invites us to reflect on how several historical events have informed our current social actions and responsibilities. As Americans and citizens of the world, this is Psychic Underlord signing off.